There's something strange on the easternmost point of Zia. Just northeast of Port Piscarilius, just over a rocky ledge on the shore of the River of Souls that leads to the Arceus Soul Altar, there's this. A raised earthen mound, guarded by a wall of spears. Behind them are 3 frozen warriors, one wielding a sword, one carrying a bow, and one holding nothing, presumably a mage. In the centre of the mound is a trapdoor, whose right-click identifies it as Champion Statue, the same as the trapdoor found in the Champions Challenge arena beneath the Champions Guild. Stranger still, there's a boat floating by the shore nearby, the same one owned by Larry from the Penguin questline. Why this boat, or indeed this whole strange place, exists is currently unknown. There's no way to get here, it's completely inaccessible to the player, and has been ever since it was added to the game in November of 2016. Maybe it was an unused idea, a placeholder for a future quest or content that was never realised, but either way, it remains here almost 10 years later, as just an odd little corner of the map. OldSchool RuneScape's Gielinor is a truly massive, incredibly detailed world. Yet some of the most interesting places to me are those that feel like they've slipped through the cracks. There are, of course, many parts of the map that the player can't reach, like most of the Galapos Mountains above the underground pass, or this raised ledge east of Emir's arena. And to be honest, these places already feel somewhat odd in a game like OldSchool RuneScape, where you really can go everywhere and do everything. But there are some that are stranger than this, places that feel purposeful, designed, yet still can't be reached. So subscribe if you haven't already for more OldSchool RuneScape lore and trivia, and let's explore where we can't explore. On the eastern edge of the Stranglewood, there's a tall, snowy mountain. There are multiple caves in the sides of this peak, though only one is accessible, and it can't be entered. If the player tries to do so, they'll apparently get lost and find themselves coming back out the way they went in. The other caves are here, leading out onto the shore, here, leading out near this waterfall, and here, leading out onto the other side of the mountain to the Stranglewood, where there's a pub and a small dock. This area is fully modelled. The pub has tables, a bar, and even a fully modelled first floor with bedrooms. Curiously, the sign outside is the same one seen at the Sheared Ram in Lumbridge, despite this otherwise being a completely different pub. There's currently no way to reach this area, though with the eventual addition of Tempestus, which can be seen in an unfinished state just nearby, it wouldn't surprise me if there eventually is. But for now, it stands out as one of the most interesting little inaccessible corners of Gielinor. A pub on the edge of a zombie-infested wasteland, where you could have a nice cold wizard's mind bomb and wait for all this to blow over. And just north of the Stranglewood is this, Talon's Grasp. The shoreline is curved into 2 points, like a talon, hence its name, and is covered in basalt columns, like those found near the lighthouse. Mysteriously, there's a giant cave entrance in the bay, yet this entire area southwest of Mount Quidamortum is inaccessible to the player, and has been ever since its addition in 2017. Perhaps with the recent inclusion of the sailing skill, it'll eventually be updated, but as of now, it's just another weird, unreachable place on the map. The Ferox Enclave in the wilderness has a basement level, where the player can find a portal to Soul Walls. Most of this dungeon is inaccessible. In fact, only this much is able to be explored, but we can see that the rest of the place is fully detailed, and actually contains throwbacks to 2 older RuneScape minigames that aren't present in OldSchool, and can now only be found in RS3. First, this area here is the Fist of Guthix lobby. The shape of the cave is identical, and there's even the bookshelves on the northern wall. And second, we can spot what appears to be parts of the Stealing Creation lobby in this area, one of the tents and the raised platform where the portal would be. Considering that the Ferox Enclave serves as a hub for Old School's PvP minigames, it's great to see Stealing Creation and Fist of Guthix referenced, even if they're in inaccessible areas. The Drill Demon random event teleports players to the middle of a military camp, where they must follow the demon's orders to perform exercises on mats. The entire random event takes place on these mats, but looking around, there's actually a lot more to this place than you'd expect. There's a gate leading into the military camp, complete with a gatehouse and watchtower, a training area with archery targets and combat dummies, a full infirmary complete with blood-stained beds, an agility course, a fenced area containing cannons, catapults and wagons, and 3 barracks, each filled with bunk beds and wardrobes for soldiers. Apparently, this random event originally allowed players to explore this whole area, but this proved too confusing. So they re-released it in a state where players could only walk around in the fenced area with the Drill Demon himself. But the rest of the encampment remains. It's by far the most detailed random event space, and it's really interesting to explore. The quests Secrets of the North and Desert Treasure 2 lead the player to ancient tunnels deep below the troll settlement of Weiss, where lies the Baroque prison, home of the Mad Duke Sucellus. On the surface lies the Baroque fortress, an old Zoroastrian citadel now abandoned, with only the icy winds moving atop its battlements. Despite how important the Baroque prison and the Duke's asylum are, the surface fortress is completely inaccessible, yet it's incredibly imposing, able to be seen even from the nearby wilderness. This isn't the only interesting landmark in this inaccessible tundra near Weiss, however. Just south of the fortress, there's an old shrine, a terrifying-looking statue, standing in the cold. There's a troll in Weiss named Odd Stone, of course following the troll tradition of being named after the first thing they ate, who tried nibbling on this shrine, but was chased away by a Majorat. That's because this shrine is the ritual marker mentioned during this questline, where the Majorat meet to rejuvenate themselves. These 2 landmarks are extremely important to the lore of this place, yet are both situated in areas that the player doesn't have access to. Oddly, in this same place, there's a hunter area full of deadfall traps that is also unreachable. This one's probably less important to the lore, if I had to guess, but it's still notable. With the release of Sailing came a slew of new islands across the seas of Gielinor, many of which are currently inaccessible. I'll avoid talking about these, like the Cursed Archipelago, because they'll certainly be accessible later on as the skill is expanded upon. However, there are a few islands that probably won't become accessible surrounding Fossil Island, which are worth looking at. First, there's this one. A tiny island with little more than boulders and trees. Curiously, though, it contains a single unmarked grave. Next is this volcanic isle, where it seems some sailors crashed. Their broken ship can be seen on the eastern shore, and 2 charred skeletons are found on the slopes. Finally, there's this island, where another sailor was shipwrecked. This island serves as a little reference to the Tom Hanks film Castaway. There's the remains of a fire, floating crates, and even Wilhelm, a nod to Wilson. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more old school RuneScape content. Did I miss any interesting, unreachable areas you've noticed? Let me know in the comments, as well as any other topics you'd love to see. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.